Oof, it's actually chilly. Timestamp, just quick check-in. It's January 20th, a little after 8 p.m. Had to do some quick runs to stores. Needed coffee creamer. That's an emergency. Health-wise, feel okay. I'm anxious as hell, just because this past week has been berserk. No idea what's going on for this week. My dad supposedly has an appointment on Wednesday, we think, with his primary and/or some kind of neurology. And then Friday, we know he has a appointment with the memory unit, I think is what they called it, memory care, memory unit. I'm not emotionally in a good place just because I'm learning more and more some of the games that have been being played by my mom, which I don't appreciate. And on the bright side, there's a bright side or not. Anyway, Chuck apparently I may not be able to trust Chuck. He apparently told Darla that he's under orders from my mom to not take Dad to any appointments, which really weird crap going on right now. But I don't know the legality on this kind of stuff. I really don't. You know, I just play one on stage. I'm just a country lord. I've never actually done that show. I'd love to, though. That's pretty hardcore theater right there. I'd love to see Jeff Daniels. Holy crap. Would love to see Jeff Daniels do that. But anyway, if you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, Google it. Look it up. I don't know, but I would think, because there's talk of elder abuse in the form of neglect, in the respect that when you're lying to the doctors, preventing care, and or not taking a patient to appointments when he needs to go, that can be construed as a neglect case, is kind of the gist that I'm getting. So Chuck saying to Darla that he has purposely not been taking my dad to appointments, I don't know how this works, but that, to me, with my Capricornian logic, that sounds like you're part of the neglect, accessory, accomplice-y kind of stuff. Am I wrong? Do I have no idea what I'm talking about? I could be wrong, and yes, I have no idea what I'm talking about. But theoretically, it just seems like if you're helping prevent someone from getting care, and it's willful, you know what I mean? It seems to me that maybe you're part of the problem. So, and I think I told you, after my mom whispered in the nurse's ear, we got bounced by the director of nursing at the rehab. That's been a few days now. Darla told us to kind of lie low and not pressure, because she was still doing some digging. Today was Inauguration Day, God help us. Also MLK. Fuzzy on how to celebrate that. It's amazing to me that sometimes it seems like bad people live forever, and the ones that we really need, we go out of our way to kill. Just as a race, as a species. Jimmy Carter does kind of defy that thinking, I guess. We just lost him recently too. And I got into a discussion with one of my pups about this. I don't think he was necessarily a great president, but I think he's one of the best men that's ever been president. If that makes any sense to you. It makes sense in my head. I don't know. But yeah, I don't have any idea what the hell's going on this week. I left a message. I'm in a parking lot, so I'm like, there's some shady people running around. I don't know.
Oh, look, it's a fairy.
I was having a discussion with Pixie earlier today about
Hoggle?
and how vocally, and if you do mimicry or voices or anything like that, you may hear it. Hoggle is almost like a kind of rough New Yorker Billy Barty in my head.
Magic is what holds the universe together.
You know, big fan of Willow and some other films. Billy Barty, man, he just rocked. Little Package, amazing talent. He was funny as hell in Foul Play too. Just a little part, but damn, he was funny. Guilty pleasure. I'm not necessarily a big Chevy Chase or Goldie Hawn fan, but I love Foul Play. It's so 70s, but just tickles. Dudley Moore in a rather odd role. Maybe he only did odd roles, though, now I think about it. I never got into Arthur, but Foul Play, I'd be funny in that. Anyway, yeah, no, I have... Man, my squirrels are out of control. I have no idea what I'm doing this week. I have informed Barbara, my boss, that Wednesday I may be out of pocket and Friday I may be out of pocket because I thought I was shuttling my dad, but now Chuck is saying that... Oh, yeah, I didn't mention this. I'm sorry. Chuck called me this morning. He never calls to check in, ever. So I'm wondering if he got with my mom over the weekend, and my mom's like, hey, we gotta play nice. I don't know what the hell's going on. But there's definitely... There's games being played. I just know it. But, yeah, no, he called, let me know he was going to run my dad to the store so he didn't walk down the street and try and cross busy streets to go to the store to get microwave dinners because he's almost out. Which is weird. Because when I was at their place with DCF and the Sheriff's Department, let that sink in, that's how my week's been. The supervisor, the DCF supervisor, was like, he's got meals for months in the freezer. So, that's curious. But Chuck was letting me know that he knew that Dad had an appointment on Wednesday and on Friday, and he was going to get him there. What are you up to, Chuck? What games are we playing? I do think there is some duplicity going on. Anyway, enough about the voices in my head. How are you? Health-wise, again, I feel okay. I'm definitely having the chest tightness and the chest pain and the shallowness of breath, but my mom's in rehab, possibly guilty of, and again, I'm speculating, I have no idea, I'm talking out my sphincter. Possibly guilty of elder abuse / neglect on my dad. My dad is spiraling out of control, in my opinion. Has a stack of handguns on the bed under a pillow, very cleverly disguised under a bulging towel. I've got DCF and the Sheriff's Department pretty much investigating both of them, it seems. And I'm trying to get him to the VA so that I can actually get him diagnosed, cared for, what have you. So, yeah. What was that line? I have my wife to kill and Gildor to frame for it. I'm swamped, you know. I don't know where we're headed on this at all. I know that my dad needs to be in a facility. I know that because he doesn't know where he is, doesn't know what he's doing from 5 minutes to the next. And his projects, as my mom puts it, are him fortifying the backyard and building things to keep the burglars out and or trap the burglar. You can't tell me that when you spend every waking moment pursuing a paranoid delusion that that's a healthy environment, that you're living a good life. He needs to be pulled out of that. And he can't do that while he's there because the burglar is always going to exist in his mind. So, yeah, it sounds awful. And it may make me look like a villain. You're trying to put your dad in a home. Kinda, yeah. Yeah, it's time. You know, if we just look at the science of it. If the maximum someone has recorded-wise, the maximum someone has been in mid-stage dementia is about 10 years. And we know he's been hallucinating for over 8. He's going into severe, or he's in severe now. And we're just starting to tick off those boxes. It's time. It's time. I want to try and keep him safe, keep him as happy and healthy as I can. And fighting windmills is not necessarily a happy existence. And I also don't want the Girl Scout to get shot. I think I've made that analogy before. You know, the hypothetical of Girl Scout knocking on doors trying to sell cookies. My dad has a paranoid moment, gun in his pocket, and instead of buying Thin Mints, puts a couple rounds in her. I know it sounds really awful to put it so frankly, but he's mid-stage, putting his toe, or maybe already has his foot in end stage, and a gun in his pocket. We're there. And I know it may sound dramatic, but you can do it. Look it up online. Dementia patients have done that and worse. And not even remember doing it or understanding why they did it at the time. So, I know it may sound dramatic, but yeah, I'm trying to save him and the Girl Scout. Even the Jehovah's Witness. As relentless as they are, I don't want a Jehovah's Witness getting shot through the door. Please, if you're a Jehovah's Witness, please understand that's just my bent sense of humor. I don't mean anything bad by that. Just being funny. Or, to me, I'm being funny. I think I'm hilarious. Anyway. That's going to be a hell of a week, I can tell. You take care. Make it a great day.